Corruption. Ukraine is facing probably the largest corruption scheme that we have seen in quite some time. Something that Zelensky, coming into office, said that he would be fixing up. And before we actually dive into this, I want you to think about this in a different point of view, which is this actually shows that the anti-corruption board that Zelensky put into place is actually working. So let's break down what's going on. The NABU, or Ukraine's National Anti-Corruption Bureau, is investigating a criminal scheme involving kickbacks inside the energy sector. The main person of this investigation is Timur Mindych, which was someone who was Zelensky's former partner when it came to his media company. Remember that when Zelensky took office, his whole premise is that I have this big crew of people that I trust with a lot of different things, and so I'm going to put these people in power of these things since I have trust with these people. Turns out this guy was not someone that Zelensky should be trusting. According to the allegations, it says here that Mindych helped lead a group forcing companies to essentially give a kickback of 10 to 15% to avoid losing contracts or having payments blocked. And this was happening with Ukraine State Nuclear Power Operator and the central company that involves all of the energy companies. So think about 4 different nuclear plants and a few other things. This investigation under the NABU has been going on for 15 months. They did about 70 different searches. They've been going through and working with the companies to figure out where this money has gone because the money is about $100 million. That money was actually put there so that they can build shelters and things so that these plants, when they get hit, they won't be damaged as much. Which is only coming more to light now as Ukraine's dealing with 12-plus hour blackouts some days. Mindych was finding out that they were getting ready to arrest him, and then he fled the country, and now he's believed to be in Israel at this time. But he is being accused of being the ringmaster of this entire operation, with multiple ministers inside of Ukraine's parliament taking part, in which right now we saw at least 2 different ministers resign, the justice minister and an energy minister, but they believe that more ministers are involved. You gotta remember that Zelensky is very anti-corruption. It's just Ukraine's been dealing with so much corruption since it was, well, independent in the 90s. And so it takes a while for these things to come out. And that's why they have these corruption boards. And that's why we had that shakeup not too long ago, so that they can finally bring to light some of the corruption. But, of course, Zelensky is getting the heat for this because this guy once was an ally of Zelensky. And now we're seeing him introduce a ton of different things to get things back on the right foot. First is he announced a sweeping anti-corruption cleanup of Ukraine's energy sector, something that is not only going through now the corruption thing, but also the fact that Russia's attacking it every single night. These measures now include an overhaul of management at the energy centers because now they can't trust the people that were running it, since they really don't know how deep this goes at this very moment, though the investigation, like I said before, has been going on for 15 months. We're going to be replacing the leadership at the other state energy bodies to make sure that corruption is not happening in those places. Try to shake up things. There's going to be a now urgent law to change the composition of the National Energy and Utilities Regulation Commission. There will be new instructions for government officials to maintain direct communication with law enforcement and anti-corruption agencies, so it's kind of like an overseer. And lastly, he's putting orders to ensure that any discovered scheme receives some kind of swift and just response so that it doesn't take 15 months to find this thing and completely stop it. Downside of all this is that Zelensky had absolutely nothing to do with this, but because it was an ally of him, it makes him look really bad. And so people like Viktor Orban, the prime minister from Hungary, are using this as a point to say, look, they shouldn't join the EU. Look at all the corruption they have going on. Even though Viktor Orban himself is just a corrupt guy to begin with. The one real big thing I want you to take away from this is that the NABU, of course, is saying that Ukraine had a corruption problem here. But they emphasize one important thing. For this scheme to come to light actually shows that the anti-corruption systems are working in Ukraine, unlike places like Hungary and Russia. To quote the leader of the NABU, he says here, "The story isn't about corruption. It's about Ukraine's struggle and its fight against corruption, something that had been going on for decades." That said, I don't think we're going to hear the end of this. It seems like there's going to be, in the next few weeks, a lot more officials who are going to be resigning over kickbacks or something involving this, because $100 million is a lot of money, and I can't imagine that went to one person. But at least now you understand what's happening here. Zelensky had nothing to do with this, unlike reports that are coming in from the Russian side. Because they're reporting it like that, that's actually taking over most of the information you're getting on social media. So do me a big favor, please do share this video so that the right information does get out there. I'll be sure to keep you updated on it though, so please do share my videos and follow me for more.